Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. Thank you all for visiting. Appreciate you very much. This is sort of an impromptu video. I didn't plan on doing anything today, but I had to. I had to come on and I had to make this video because I got something in the mail. And, it's actually, in all honesty, it's a little disturbing. The fact that what I'm about to read to you, can be mailed out to people to begin with. Frankly, it almost borderlines a hate crime, really. But I'll get into that as I read this piece. It's from the Southern Poverty Law Center. A very prestigious group of criminals. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is the paper right here. It's got some pertinent information I'm not going to show a lot, but I'm going to read to you what this paper says. And yeah. This is by the way, this is 3 petitions, okay? These are 3 petitions that were sent to be signed, and also asking for a donation. But the petitions are for Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy. The second is for Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. And the third is to President Joe Biden. And this is, again, Southern Poverty Law Center. This is who sent us this. And in the petition, it says, to Speaker of the House and to so and so on the other 2, but they're all the same, basically. Whereas the January 2021 assault on the United States Capitol was an organized insurrection planned by white nationalists and other far-right extremist organizations. Already I have a problem. And by the way, at the top it says, Citizens Petition Declaring White Supremacy an Urgent National Crisis. First of all, so you're saying everybody who was at the Capitol on January 6th was a white supremacist, a white nationalist, a far-right individual. That's what you're saying. And this is Southern Poverty Law Center, folks. I'm reading it exactly the way it is. Second of all, as multiple videos have shown, I'd say 99% of people that were at the Capitol building, which, by the way, was paid for by the taxpayers, so they actually have a right to be there. But setting that aside, there was no riot. There were a handful of individuals who broke the law, assaulted police, or broke a window, and naturally they deserve jail time. But that was a small portion. And everybody knows this, as shown by the videos by Tucker Carlson and others, but I won't get into all that. But let's continue. Let's continue reading from this petition. It goes further. It says, whereas the FBI director, that in and of itself is a joke, has told Congress that racially motivated extremists, mostly white supremacists, now make up the deadliest and most common threat of domestic terrorism. Name 5 terroristic attacks in the past decade that have taken place by white supremacist. You can't do it. It doesn't exist. Oh, it exists in the imaginations of cuckoo lefty loosies. But in reality, in factual reality, it doesn't exist. And by the way, while we're talking about supremacy organizations, how about the black supremacist group known as Black Lives Matter? Uh-oh. Can't talk about that, can we? Who have literally stolen money from their own black community and are buying mansions. So all that money that they got donated to them, Black Lives Matter got donated in the millions. The same organizers, the leaders of that organization, are now living it up in mansions. I don't know. That seems like a form of black supremacy to me. But, okay. Hey, you have your opinions. You like them, you don't like them. That's not even my business. Just throwing it out there. But let's continue. Whereas the Southern Poverty Law Center is tracking more than 700 white supremacists and other hate groups. You know, that's interesting. They say that, but they don't list any of them. I ask you, SPLC, why? Why do you say that there are 700? That's a big number. 700 white supremacists and other hate groups. But you don't list one. Not one of them did you list in this petition. Why is that? You don't want people to know who they are? No. If your argument is that white supremacy is in fact dangerous and the biggest threat to our country, why would you not warn the people about who these white supremacists or these dangerous hate groups are? I mean, you said it. You said that there's 700 of them. Why didn't you name them? Now, obviously, I don't expect you to list 700 names. Well, it's a lot. Why didn't you name the most dangerous ones? Why didn't you pull out 5 to 10 of the most dangerous white supremacist hate groups and list them in the petition? Why didn't you do that? Could it be because your allegations are ambiguous at best? I'm just asking a simple question. Why didn't you list any of them? If they're so dangerous, why didn't you warn the people about these groups? Any of them. You could have just named 5 of them, but you didn't do that. Let's continue. Whereas these white nationalists, who again you failed to name any of, and related hate groups are actively planning additional violent attacks. Who are they? Once again, twice now, you've said that there are tons of white nationalist hate groups, far right, whatever you want to call them, that are dangerous to this country. But you haven't named one. Why is that? It's a very simple question. You don't list any of them. You sent out petitions for individuals to sign to 3 different members of our 3 branches of government in order for the government, and I'll continue. The end of this petition It says, therefore I call upon you to formally declare that the threat of white supremacists and related hate groups pose is an urgent national crisis. I'll get to that in a minute. And that you mobilize the full power of the federal government to confront that crisis. Once again, if it's such a crisis, and there are 700 groups, as you stated here, why didn't you name any one of them? Out of 700? Are you kidding me? And you couldn't pick even 2, 3, 4 just to list and say, these are the prime threats to our country. Why didn't you call them out? Because you don't want people to know who you're looking into or who you consider to be a threat. Why? You afraid you'll get sued for defamation? Well, I mean, if you consider these people, these individuals, to be a threat to the nation, then you should have the cojones to step up and say, I consider this group a potential terror threat for XYZ reasons. Why didn't you name them? Who is Joe Blow citizen supposed to be afraid of or look out for on the street? You said white supremacists, but how are we supposed to know who these white supremacists are if you won't name them? And you said 700 organizations, but who are these organizations? You know, for a group that seems that they allegedly want to protect citizens from these dangerous white supremacists that are around every corner, the way you make it seem here, when there's 700 groups, but you don't name any of them, how does that help anybody? It doesn't. And then it says thank you, and then you put your signature and date and state and all that. Oh, and it also has where you can donate money to the Southern Poverty Law Center. I gotta tell you, I'm a little offended. The fact that in this time when you have economic crisis, you have illegal immigrants flooding across our border, not being vetted, some of which could be terrorists, drug dealers, murderers in their own country, rapists in their own country. At a time when you have inflation, you have high gas prices, you have stores shutting down in mass because the economy's so bad. When you have the verge of World War III, when you have Joe Biden who's pulled out of Afghanistan and got our own troops killed, as well as other citizens killed because of his foolishness. Not just his foolishness, but the people, around him, playing with him, using him, whatever you want to call it. At this time, with all the issues that our nation is actually facing in reality, and you want to say white supremacy is the biggest threat. I don't know what type of drugs you're on, but please get yourself some help. Get a reality check. Because this is not based in any form of reality. This is based in some cuckoo fantasy land where somebody at the Southern Poverty Law Center, is paranoid, fundamentally paranoid, that the white man's going to get you. The white man's around every corner, and he's gonna steal from you and take your women. What is wrong with you? Do you not think that we saw the videotapes of what happened on January 6th? Do you not see that? We saw it. Everybody in the country had access to it. It was shown on one of the biggest networks in the nation. Now, of course, Tucker Carlson was let go. I can speculate why, but I won't get into that. But it's out there. And it shows majority of the people were peaceful. And by the way, surprisingly enough, not all of the people there at January 6th, not all of them were white. Yeah, I know, big shocker. Let me just settle into your pea-sized brains for a minute. Not all of the people there January 6th were white. Some of them were Hispanics, some were blacks, Asians, etc. that support their country, they support Trump, and so forth. And most of them, by the way, were not causing problems. We're literally walking into the building. So where you're getting this fairyland idea about white nationalism and right-wing whatever doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. And you fail fundamentally, by the way, to even prove the point that you made here. You say it's the biggest threat to democracy, but you won't tell us who those threats are. You say you have 700 examples, but you don't name any of them. Oh, you want me to donate? Yeah, I'll make a donation. It's not going to be money, though. It's going to be these shredded pieces of toilet paper. And I'm going to send them right back to your office. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Because quite frankly, not worth my time. Because your case is as cheap as the glue you used for this paper. And it holds no weight. That's it. That's all I got to say, folks. Yeah. And just the fact that this was mailed to me, it's disgusting. And it's a delusional world that you paranoid so-and-sos live in. That's it. That's all I have to say on the matter. Just thought that would bring that to your attention. By the way, if any of you out there get this toilet paper in the mail, throw it out. Don't even look at it. Do not give these paranoid nutcases a cent. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.